Hello YouTube, I've got another high elo game here. It looks like it's going to be ranked, and it looks like the matchups are going to be Kassadin, Cho'Gath, Karma, Caitlyn, and Zyra versus Jace, Fiddlesticks, Vladimir, Graves, and Master Yi. So it looks like the lane matchups are going to be Cho'Gath versus Master Yi in the jungle. At top lane, most likely going to be Kassadin or Karma. Those two are relatively interchangeable versus Vladimir or Fiddlesticks. Hold up. Nope, it's probably Fiddle support with Vladimir or Jace. So Jace is probably gone top. Mid lane, probably Vladimir, but those two are also interchangeable. And then at bottom lane, it is going to be Caitlyn, Zyra versus Graves and Fiddlesticks. So as far as summoner spells go, nothing too out of the ordinary. We do have an Ignite on Fiddlesticks, who is most likely going to be the support. And then also the Caitlyn's running a Cleanse. But other than that, everything's pretty standard. And as far as the high elo people, I know One Fish, Two Fish, Red Fish. I know Hot Shot GG, and I know X Shepherd. Those are the only ones that I immediately know. I feel like Atlanta is another one that is also relatively high up there. So without further ado, let's get this commentary started. Let's take a quick look at what everybody's running. First off, with the blue team, Kassadin running with looks like hybrid marks with a little bit of spell pen there, so he's probably going 21-9 or 21-0-9, probably for that additional mana pool. And yeah, fun. Cho'Gath here looks like he's just going purely defensive. Looks like probably 0-21-9, something along those lines. Can't really tell exactly. Probably attack speed reds. Yeah, I think he's got attack speed. So Karma here looks like she's running 21 with the bonus attack speed? Interesting. She doesn't have the full cooldown reduction. So maybe she decided to go at the last hitting. Anyway, she is most likely 21-0-9 or 21-9, something along those lines. She does have a little bit of MR, but so that's why I think she's got that 9 in utility. Caitlyn here running pretty high in that attack damage with just a little bit of armor pen and 4% lifesteal. So she's got 2 lifesteal quints. So it looks like she's running all attack besides those 2 quints. Zyra here running, looks like magic pen marks, but then she's going defense and utility trees. So looks like she will be supporting the Cho'Gath just a little bit here. Now let's take a quick look at the purple team. Jace running that high attack damage build once again with the all attack. He does have 6%, so he's got 3 lifesteal quints and a little bit of armor pen there from the mastery. So most likely 21-0-9. He doesn't have that much armor in MR. Fiddlesticks looks like he's running just a little bit of magic pen, probably 9-0-21, just because he does have that 9% cooldown reduction from the offense and utility trees, and he does have a little bit of MR there, most likely from his not his quints, but his runes. And Vladimir also running 9% CDR, so I'm guessing he is running, it looks like he's running hybrid penetrations with the Mark and Quints with at least 9 in offense, and he's got quite a bit of spell vamp, so it looks like he is 9-21. And last but not least, Graves running that high attack page. Oh, I can't count. One more. Master Yi, finally. And it looks like he's going into that high attack with a little bit of cooldown reduction, so fun. So that's a quick look at what everybody's running. Just because I forgot to do it, let's do the quick matchup here. Cho'Gath, Master Yi. And it's Karma versus Vlad. Okay, that should do it. So Master Yi recently just got reworked, and a lot of people are saying that he's OP. He does do a lot of damage and has a lot of mobility there with his Q, especially once he gets those kill resets here. So, and kind of interesting lane matchups. Here we go. This is a very offensive lane on both sides. Nice gank. Looks like Hotshot GG went for the gank here on the Jace, but here comes the Master Yi. Manages to flash, keep up with this Cho'Gath, and it looks like he might be able to pick. Nope, not quite. Almost picks up the kill there on the Cho'Gath, but unfortunately unable to do so. But meanwhile, at bottom lane, Graves taking a lot of damage here, but he's doing some nice damage. Nice fear. There's an ignite. Zyra's going to take a lot, gets a nice bounce, and is she going to tick out? Nope, just barely gets out of there. Not even close. Not even close. Meanwhile, in that top lane, not too much is going on. Jace here still playing around with this Kassadin. He does have a slight farming advantage, 11 creeps over this Kassadin, but keep in mind, Kassadin still has this entire wave, even though he doesn't have a good way to clear it until he has that null zone, and I'm not sure if he has that yet. That force pulse, rather. But lots of battles going on here everywhere. Nice bounces once again. Got 3 bounces on that Caitlyn. Pretty ridiculously lucky, and that's going to force her back. And starting items, everybody did fairly standard. Lots of wards here for the supports. But what I was saying a long time ago was this is a very offensive bottom lane here. We might see another gank here at mid. I'll try and keep an eye on it. But this is a very offensive lane for both teams. Fiddlesticks, he is very aggressive with his Dark Winds if he can get good bounces, or his Fear can be ridiculously strong if used properly. But the problem is, unless he's getting kills, he falls off really late because he doesn't provide much as a support other than that Fear. But he's got to get those kills because otherwise he just falls off. Fiddlesticks needs damage, but his ults can still do quite a bit even without getting too much. And it looks like Jace is going to give up the first blood here, taking some nice damage, and it looks like Kassadin picks up the kill, but Yi comes in, gives up a kill and assist. So the gold advantage is actually slightly in favor of purple team just because Jace managed to deny that assist there on the Cho'Gath, and Yi picked up the kill. So good times, good times. And farming-wise, everybody's relatively even. Karma has barely an advantage. E is clearing the jungle very well. He clears incredibly well since his rework. And Caitlyn does have a slight farming advantage over the Graves, but that's because Graves just recently got forced back. But I think the XP advantage is going to be relatively even. But we will see. We will see. Pretty calm game so far. Just those couple engages there in mid. That's all that's been pretty much going on. Caitlyn decided to go with the double Doran's Blade, while Graves decides to go with the Doran's Blade in the Vamp Scepter. I like that start more than double Doran's. I don't know. I think the additional health, and I don't like the way that Doran's Blade does not build into anything else, so I like having that Vamp Scepter. But sometimes that health, that additional 100 health, is all you need to save yourself. A little bit of trading damage here on here, and it looks like blue team is on the winning side of this damage trading, but we'll see. We will see indeed. And it looks like Karma's doing some nice damage there to the Vladimir. Not enough to force him back. Well, he might go back here. But so far, really even game so far across the board. Hopefully we get to see a little bit more action here. Dark Wind's going on there versus this Zyra Caitlyn at bottom, and it looks like we're getting a couple of good bounces. And yeah, pretty calm game right now. All of a sudden, it's just a farm fest across all the lanes. Caitlyn starting to get a little bit of a lead over the Graves, and Karma getting a pretty substantial lead. Oh, well, she's headed back now, so it's actually not that much of a lead. But everybody's really even right now. Gold advantage is just 200 gold, just under 200 gold, it looks like, in purple team's favor, which is not crazy significant. So, and nice warding for everybody. Top lane is the only one that's lacking a little bit on their wards, but Jace picking a fight here with the Kassadin, manages to get hit by a null zone. That's what that silence is called, right? Null Sphere. My bad. Null Sphere. And that does prevent him from doing too much damage. That's part of the problems with Kassadin, is he is really good at denying a lot of damage with that 2-second silence that he has. Pretty ridiculous. Lots of silences this game, and plus with Rift Walk, he's got a lot of mobility, so he can wander around quite a bit, do damage here and there, turn fights fairly easily, and Vladimir doing a little bit of damage to this turret, and I think this is going to be the first turret to go down. Looks like Fiddlesticks getting a nice bounce there, and doing a little bit of damage to the Caitlyn, but she did miss the Pillage over Peacemaker there, her Q, so wasn't able to do too much. And this Caitlyn is relatively low, but both of these purple team are relatively low on mana, so I'm not sure how much they're going to be able to do. It depends on their ganking potential. And it looks like Master Yi might try to swing around here and come at, and they might do a tower dive here on this bottom. But I think blue team is aware of this because they did see him before that ward went down as he passed by Dragon. And we'll see what Master Yi looks like. He decides to head back towards his
Would you prefer the good cop?
towards mid lane, trying to find, looks like Cho'Gath or something. Just a pretty calm game here all of a sudden. Purple team slowly edging out an advantage here. I think most of that gold is on, I don't know. Fiddlesticks is getting a little bit more CS than the Zyra. And Caitlyn is about even. But blue team is doing a nice job of keeping this lane from pushing too hard so that they can take advantage. The warding is actually a little bit disturbingly bad right now. Purple team just has the one here at this bottom bush. They need to drop some more wards. And meanwhile, at top lane, Cho'Gath just putting a little pressure on this turret, trying to do a little bit of damage. Looks like he wanted to go for a dive, takes a little bit of turret hit, and here comes the Master Yi getting hit with that that Vlad ult, but it does hurt a little bit, but not too much on the Karma. Especially since Vladimir wasn't able to do too much damage there to her. But it looks like mid-turret manages to finally go down, and the first turret advantage goes to Purple Team, bringing that gold advantage to just over 1,000 gold in Purple Team's favor. But it looks like, meanwhile, they will probably get this top. Manages to land a nice rupture there, dropping an ignite on him, preventing him from getting too much sustain, and that turret is brought incredibly low. It might go down here, but I don't think so. Jace coming up here from the bottom, whiffs the shock pulse there, but does some nice damage to them regardless, and that's going to force this Karma back just a little bit. But here comes the Casta, and we'll see if he can capitalize on this. We're going to back it up so we can see that Graves kill there on Caitlyn to see exactly what happened. Most likely a Fiddle ult, Fear, and then Graves just buckshots everybody in the face. There's the Fiddle ult, didn't see it coming. There's the Fear, tries to cleanse out of it. Nice ignite drain, and the Graves ult manages to pick it up. And meanwhile, up at top, we do have this tower dive kind of going on. Gaston trying to do what he can here to this Purple team. And everybody is brought incredibly low, but it looks like everybody's going to get away. Flash there to prevent Caston from doing too much. Oh, Caston overcommitting to that fight. Manages to pick up Master Yi regardless, though, with that Force Pulse. But, wow, bloody game. Bloody game. And it looks like Karma's going to stick around and get this turret because it's at... Did it go down? It says 0 health on my screen. That is funny. Is it dead?
Blue team's turret has been
Oh, it did die. Okay. It's just glitched. Okay, so the turrets are 1 to 2. So keep in mind that they have one more here. Just a little glitch there. Must have been... I did have a little bit of lag there a while back, so... Womp, but that's okay. So the gold advantage, keep in mind that because that's not tallied in there, the gold advantage is going to be not quite as bad. I think it's going to be about even. About even. I don't know, it's hard to tell. Maybe not, because they are up 1 turret, and they're even on kills everywhere else, so... Interesting. I love glitches like that. They would throw off my game. Anyway, it looks like Master Yi is trying to go for a little bit of counter jungling here on Cho'Gath. I think he should focus a little bit more on farming, but keep in mind Master Yi farms like crazy. But he is going to come around here off for a gank. Graves is there, but their Fiddlesticks isn't quite there, and there's the reveal. And doing some nice damage. Caitlyn pretty far away. Graves ult going down, doing some nice damage. Master Yi still sticking with everybody. Caston manages to force him back just for now, but he is trying to heal up. Jace is coming down here for support, but Cho'Gath is as well there. Meanwhile, at top lane, it looks like we just got a farm fest, but Vladimir is taking a little bit of damage from that Karma. And where are the wards? Where are the wards, guys? Purple team, where are your wards? There are no wards on the map for this purple team. That is very disturbing, guys. Very disturbing. Blue team just has the one at Dragon, trying to maintain that Dragon control. Oh, there's some wards. We must have just dropped those not too long ago. Anyway, purple team manages to catch the Cho'Gath out of position, and down he goes. That is unfortunate for Mr. Hotshot GG. Now, purple team's doing a nice job of keeping pressure here at this bottom lane, trying to push it up. If they get the tier 2 turret this early, but Caston is there as well. He might be able to do something here if he comes down. We'll see if he drops down, and there he comes. But all of this purple team is relatively healthy still. And Cassidon's in a little bit of a dangerous position. Master Yi coming down here through the lane. And it looks like blue team is aware that Jace is trying to steal the red buff, but gives it to Graves. And manages to catch Caston in a little bit out of position. That red buff's doing some nice work, slowing you up. There's a fear, and I think Caston is going to go down to that Graves. Graves is starting to get a little bit fed. Master Yi trying to keep pace here with this Caitlyn, doing some nice damage, and Master Yi picks up the kill on the Caitlyn. Now the gold advantage is fairly strong in this purple team's favor. Manages to catch up to Zyra there, who does a little bit of damage, manages to slow him down just enough, and we might see a dive here. They're thinking about it. Fiddlestick's ult is back up, but I doubt he is going to go over the wall like that. So Fiddlestick's going for pure damage, not really support, going for that quick kill lane. It looks like Karma is just trying to keep this lane super pushed. And all sorts of battling going on here. Ignite going down, and Vlad ultimate doing some nice damage to the Karma, bringing her fairly low. She's trying to do what she can. She might be able to still pick up the kill, but she is pretty close to so I think she should head back. And it looks like Purple Team is considering doing a dragon here. Keep in mind, Fiddlesticks can tank that fairly well, just because he can just channel that. Fiddlesticks can solo that. So it looks like he's going to go for it. The biggest thing is he might run out of mana. It looks like Jace might come in to support here just a little bit. Blue team just pinged the dragon, but I'm not sure if they're going to be able to contest it. And I think Purple team is going to be able to get this dragon, bringing the gold advantage to about 5k in their favor. And Jace picks up the dragon. Blue team just barely catching the end of that with a ward over the wall. And as far as team comp goes, I don't know, Vladimir's really good at late game. Master Yi is really good once he gets a little bit more damage. Graves, I think, is better than Caitlyn at late game, because Caitlyn, her strongest suit is the ability to siege towers and harass in lane. Just because she can abuse her range so incredibly. But this Graves, keep in mind that he has 2 kills. I think the main reason is because of Graves has that attack speed steroid in a much better reposition compared to Caitlyn with his quick draw. So looks like a little bit of damage getting traded here at top lane. Meanwhile at mid, not too much going on. Just casting and taking a little bit of damage here from Jace. Graves managing to dodge some nice grasping roots there, preventing him from taking too much damage. And it looks like Fiddlesticks is coming along the side here, trying to probably do an ult here very soon. But he is going to get caught by Caston here, and this is going to be pretty bad for him, I think. Because Caston is most likely going to get the silence. There's some nice damage. And a Caitlyn ult goes down, and Caston picks up the kill there with one final auto attack. Gold advantage is still in Purple Team's favor. Keep in mind the turrets are still 2-1. That top turret is down, just glitched. So, Purple Team has a little bit of a lead. It looks like Fiddlesticks decided to go with the Null Magic Mantle. That new item that the Null Magic Mantle builds into the Spectre's Veil, I think it's called. It is really solid. Really solid. And it builds in all sorts of good stuff. Spirit Visage is really good, provides a lot of it reminds me a lot of the old Force of Nature, even though it doesn't provide nearly as much tankiness or the movement speed. Like Force of Nature was just a ridiculous item. Anyway, Fiddlesticks ult going down here, forcing the hotshot GG to flash away, but he gets feared back into turret range and goes down. And meanwhile, at mid lane, that second turret goes down just because of this Jace, his ability to siege turrets with that his W when he's in his range form. I forget what it's called. Accelerate? What is that called? Hypercharge. Well, acceleration gate is his E. Anyway, the ability to siege turrets is pretty ridiculous with that hypercharge. Karma is still trying to defend this top turret, but I think it is going to go down with the combined force of these 3 champions that are converging on that top turret. Jace looks like he's trying to force everybody back. And Purple Team just doing a good job of abusing Blue Team when they are not able to react fast enough to these turret pushes that they do have. So, yeah. Solid game so far. Let's take a quick look at the items. Looks like Karma is going to be building that Athene's Unholy Grail here fairly quickly. We do have the, looks like the standard builds for casting Rod of Ages. Sometimes they build into a little bit more mana so they can spam a little bit more intensively, but it looks like he's going to instead go for the quick Zonias. Caitlyn decides to go for the quick Bloodthirster, just building that up, even though it's not that quick. 18 minutes in and just getting that Bloodthirster, not that quick. Meanwhile, Graves has a fully stacked Bloodthirster, so Graves can beat her in a fight hands down, unless there's an exhaust or an ignite going down as well. Graves can win in a sheer duel. Just a little bit of poking going on here. Just a little bit. Meanwhile, not much is going on. Jace doing some nice damage there to Caitlyn. She gets caught a little bit out of position. And the ultimate does a lot of damage, but it looks like she manages to cleanse away and get out of there. Looks like she might try to overstay her welcome. And there's the shock pulse there. Pick up the kill. Fiddlestick's trying to do what he can here to battle with this Castan. But this is probably going to be bad news bears. Looks like Zyrus is just going to try and head back here, but Cho'Gath gets caught out of position yet again by this Master Yi, and it looks like he is going to go down with one final Q. Zyra overstaying her welcome, thinking that she might be able to save the Cho'Gath, and now I think the Zyra is so very dead. There's the Zyra ult, tries to flash away, but the Alpha Striker manages to allow him to keep up there. Graves taking some nice damage there from this Castan. The Vlad ultimate does go down. Castan tries to come back in for the cheese kill, takes a lot of damage, and goes down. Dad bait. That bait is too strong. Too strong. And solid pushing going here for this purple team. That's where a lot of their lead is coming from. It's just their ability to push down turrets while still maintaining farm. Master Yi is at 6 kills. Look at that. 6 kills. Doing lots of damage. And he is just going to be... He's a monster. Graves of the Last Whisper makes it so that building too much armor doesn't do that much in their favor. Or at least not nearly as much so. And it will allow him to keep maintaining that steady level of damage. And I think Purple Team will have this one in the bag. Unless Blue Team can catch them way out of position. The gold advantage is strongly in Purple Team's favor. And we are at the 20-minute mark, so we can see a surrender at any time. The kill count is 4-12, and turrets are 4-1 in Purple Team's favor. So, solid game so far, but even though it has been fairly one-sided, and there is the surrender vote. Looks like Blue Team decides to give it up, and voila, just start up a new game. In the surrender, looks like that's going to be it. I hope you guys did enjoy it. If you guys like what you see, hit that like button, favorite, subscribe, you know the drill. And I'd like to thank you one more time for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.